Formatting text in your document can enhance its appearance and help highlight important information. In this lesson, we'll format text using the Mini Toolbar. We'll proofread the memo and we'll print the memo. We want to format some of the text in our memo to make it easier to read, and when we're finished, it will look like this. We changed the alignment and font size of the memo title. We added some bold formatting to these labels, and we added a border to separate the memo heading from the memo text. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is highlight the word memorandum. Let's double click on memorandum. What you'll notice is when we double click on memorandum, we get a mini toolbar that contains some of the most popular tools that will show up right in the text of our document. What we want to do is we're going to use this mini toolbar rather than moving our mouse pointer up to the ribbon on the toolbar. So let's click on bold. We're going to make memorandum bold. We're also going to center it, and we're going to change the font size by clicking on the Grow Font button to 26. Now what we're going to do is format the labels in the memo heading. I'm going to double click on 2. I'm going to choose bold from the mini toolbar. I'm going to do the same for the remaining labels. Double click, bold. Double click, bold. Now what I want to do is actually add a line so that we can actually separate the heading from the actual memo text. So what I want to do is with my mouse pointer in the left-hand margin, right to the left of the very last line of my heading, I'm going to click once. What that does is selects the entire last line of the heading. In order to put a border on the bottom of this line, I'm going to actually have to go up to the paragraph group on the Home tab. Here on the Home tab is the borders. Notice it says there are no borders. I click the drop down arrow, and what I want to choose is a bottom border for this line. When I click on bottom border, it adds a bottom border to that line. What I'm going to do now is I want to actually save this memo. So I'm going to click on save, because I want, remember, save early, save often. And now that we've actually added our border and made the formatting changes to our memo, we're ready to actually print the memo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the File tab at the top left. When we click on File, it takes us to Backstage View. We're going to click on Print. And what you'll notice when you click on Print, in the middle you have options for printing. And then over here on the right hand side, you actually see a preview of what's going to be printed. You can actually make any types of selections that you want depending on how you're going to print. By changing, you can change your printer here, you can tell it what pages you want to print if you have multiple pages, so on and so forth. This is where you're changing everything about printing. But over here on the right, this allows us to proofread our document. So we can zoom in to get closer and see more of the actual text, or we can zoom out to change what we're seeing as well. This gives us the option to proofread what we're going to print prior to printing, and that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you proofread all of the documents that you create prior to printing. If I proofread this and say, maybe here in this line, maybe I want to capitalize new, trekking, and tour. What I can do is I can go back to Home, takes me back to my memo. I can click right before the end in New, delete, make that a capital N. And I can also do the same with trekking. So trekking is capitalized, and with tour. So tour is capitalized. Then I can save, go back to File, back to Print. Now I can see that it's capitalized, so I can actually see what it's going to look like when it prints. So once I've done that, all I need to do is click on the print button right up here, and it will actually send my memo to the printer so I can have a printout, and I'm actually done with that. So what I want to do is I actually want to save it again. Always save early, save often. And I'm finished working with this memo, so I'm going to go to the File tab. I'm going to click on Close. That will close that memo, and I am done. You can learn more about the Mini Toolbar by reviewing the table on page Word 12 in your textbook.